some things have taken place. Things have transpired. New shit has been brought to light. So, yeah, you might have heard or seen, I may or may not be in a movie pretty soon. And that might come as a surprise to some of you. Yes, it's the Chad Kroger biopic. Yes, I play Mr. Chad San from his the age of like 16 to 24. That was my job to play. And then I'm in the Nicolas Cage biopic. I play Nick Cage from the age of like 22 to 23. I'm in the Street Fighter movie, which is pretty crazy to say that I finally get to talk about this. It's something that also happened quite a while back. Now that we actually get to discuss it, it's sort of like, oh, revisiting all those memories of that thing that happened. It's not just me, especially from the fighting game scene. Justin and Yipes are also there. And to be completely honest, that was a big part of me even doing this. That there's a deep FGC connection of some kind. Yeah, I talked about this a little bit before. I talked about how I was on set before, but we couldn't exactly discuss things that was in the movie. But, you know, yes, we can actually talk about it now. In my head, when I first heard about this opportunity, I was kind of like, dang, that's really cool, but kind of involves me going to Australia, you know, several days and a really big flight that I've never done before. And I had to be very hush-hush about everything. I got to visit Sydney, Australia. You people that live in Sydney, what's it like being in like a future city? What the heck is going on? What's with Sydney? Like everything about it, it's like there's like multiple like floors to it. There's like a lower part of it's like, I feel like I'm in Midgar. I don't get it. It's like floating cars. What do you mean? Like everything about the city is like taken care of. Like it was weird. Everything about the city is like there for the convenience of you. And not as much like corporations nearly as much. It's like, hey, so there's walkways. I walked everywhere. I literally walked everywhere. You know what was the craziest thing about like going to Sydney for this Street Fighter thing and experiencing Sydney, like Australia, was like, there's not as much like insane consumerism, corporatism over there. I would go to a Starbucks. I'd see a Starbucks in the middle of the day, in the middle of like busy downtown Sydney. Starbucks and McDonald's were dead empty. There was nobody in there. However, every single mom and pop coffee shop was packed. Everything was packed and everything was cheap. Starbucks was all super expensive, and some of the best coffee I've ever had in my life is what I had when I was in Sydney, and it was like half as much as what I would pay for in the Starbucks and stuff. It was crazy. And everything was so nice. It was weird. So anyway, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. I walked so much. Like it was insane to walk a city. I didn't see kangaroos. I saw bin chickens and I saw koalas. We were on set and we heard koalas, bro. I'm not even talking about the movie, but I was just very surprised because I've never been to like a big city outside of the US. I've actually never been. It was beautiful. It was unbelievably nice. I got to experience like a different city, which was very cool. And get sort of like the glitz and glam and hangoutery and all that kind of stuff. And just be able to like hang out and see cool stuff. Yeah, I got to jump on set. We talked about this a bit earlier of the Street Fighter movie. And I got a chance to hang out with a lot of the actors. It was close to the end of filming and be a part of some scenes. And that was incredibly cool. I cannot talk about anything else. All I will say is that being on that set, it was very surprising that so many people that were working on set and they were freelancers knew who I was. And I got to ask them, when did you start watching? And they were like, MKX. I watched you during Street Fighter 5, and some guys were like, I watched you during the Third Strike videos. So believe it or not, I got to have a ton of conversations with people that were like working on set that had been watching for a very long time. So that was like, whoa, that was honestly one of the coolest parts of the experience, is that I'm gonna just make an assist me again. And that was sort of like, we haven't even fired up the trailer yet. There's not much to see. And for anybody that's seen it, it's like a very quick cut rundown of the Blanca sequence. So I'm effectively a prisoner. One of my biggest things, there's a couple of reasons like why I even did this, because to be completely honest, I first said no. Some of the folks at Capcom USA were like, Max said no. And because I'm just like very much, I don't want to get away from my family. I don't, that seems like a really big flight. I was finding many reasons in my head to not do this trip because I'm not like a huge traveling guy, and thinking of like going away from my fam at that time frame and doing this stuff was like, in my head, I'm finding many reasons for me just to stay home and keep streaming and keep working and do stuff like that. I talked to my family about it, and my mom's in the industry. She's an acting coach, and she's like, why? She got like mad. Even my wife was kind of like, wait, why wouldn't you? And it was just for me. And then I started thinking about it. And one of the big ones was that I found out that they're trying to get Justin and Yipes. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, that's actually great that they're getting like FGC heads. That's wonderful. I get it if like they bring in me and I'm an FGC head, but like one of the reasons I'm there is because I'm in the spot that I'm in, you know, with the following that I have. So I understand why that is there. But at the same point, it's like, in my head, the people that should be there are like the extremely grassroots guys that you know and love. And I think they deserve to have, like, the old heads that have been doing this shit even longer deserve to be up there. And they've just been like the ground floor kind of guys. And Justin and Yipes are the best example of that. Yeah, a little bit of imposter syndrome. I have this a lot. One thing about it that did get me to go, Justin and Yipes are East Coasters. So I felt like, well, to my West Coast fighting game community brethren, I feel like it would be almost disrespectful if we let only the East Coasters dominate the spots in the Street Fighter movie. So anyway, I was a little bit of that came up where I was like, oh, East Coast, West Coast was a big deal in old FGC chat in the 2000s and stuff like that. This was a big deal. That reared its head a little bit, but I was also happy to know that they would be there. So it was like, it was a big part. It was a big part of me going. But I also realized in my thought process of like, man, do I want to spend several days doing this? Do I want to get on like a 16-hour flight? Do I want to like, this all seems extremely daunting. I thought to myself, if I didn't do this and then I watched the trailer like however many months later, like a year later or something like that, and the trailer popped out and all of a sudden all these like figureheads would be in it, and I realized that I could have had the opportunity to do that, I would feel regret. Wow, I really wish I took that opportunity. That was a big part of it. One thing I don't want to do, including the entirety of like YouTubing and Twitching and streaming and YouTubing and all this shit I've been doing for so long, is that I don't want to regret that I didn't take the opportunity to do something cool, because it's happened a few times and I realized like, man, I messed up. I feel like I'm in a spot right now where I want to just do cool things, and I want to just be presented with an opportunity that seems really cool for something that I've either never done before or would be extremely unique, and to be a part of it, I kind of like slapped myself on the back of the head and I was like, screw it, I'm gonna go. For the longest time, I had no idea if I was gonna be in the movie. I had no idea if any of our roles were eventually going to make it, because for those of you that don't know, they just film a lot of stuff when they make a movie, and some stuff is very clearly going to get in there, but some stuff just might not. I was always under the impression that when we go in, we just have to give them something to work with. We have to give the director, the editors, and the producers something that is valuable. We have to provide something of value. That is the way it works. That's kind of the impression that I understood of it, pretty much how it was. We'll see what happens in the final movie. We'll see. I have no idea. I have no idea what the heck the final cut's going to be like. So it was incredible to be there. It was just incredible to be what effectively was like just a very large scale assist me. You know, I would like to say that I was like really nervous and I was racked and there was so much pressure to do well, but I feel like that's what I do best. And I hopefully provided something that was very cool. Yeah, when you say in a movie, do you mean screen time or production? Like a role. Like we were playing an acting role. I had one stipulation, and this is a thing that I've had a stipulation for whenever I show up in things. Not a spoiler, because you can clearly see what's in the trailer. I did not necessarily want to play myself, and I get it. I say let's go. I get it. But I was like, I don't want to just be Maximilian dude in prison. Like, so my wife did not even recognize me when I sent her like pictures, makeup and hair and all the crazy stuff that we go through. It's a little transformative, right? So you'll see. But the one thing that was very endearing about this whole thing and kind of was crazy was the response from people. I felt like I was on the front page of the internet all day. Thank you all very much for a very emphatically positive response to this. I was just worried that like, oh, are people going to be upset that I'm in this? Or I'm always like this, man. I always don't want to take away stolen valor from what already could be an interesting movie or scene or anything like that. But I think that's like the whole point of this. Like, and I realized to just accept it, that like we're there for this reason. So we might as well provide something of value while we're there, and hopefully it makes it into the movie. Anyway, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see what eventually the final cut's like and stuff like that. I can show you the trailer, and yeah, the scene's very cheesy. It's very quickly cut, but I think this is a sneak peek of what you are going to see. I would not be surprised if this is quite different in the final film, but we shall see. This was a very big set though, and it was very cool to be a part. Check this out.
Ryu, I know what you're capable of. Show me.
The references. Kill him! Yipe screaming, kill him.
Stop! I do not wish to fight you. Then you die. Okay? I want you. Oh, okay.
It's very small. It's a very little. Who the hell is this piece of shit bitch? I can't wait to go see it myself. I can't wait to see the final cut of the movie. When we eventually get to talk about more from behind the scenes stuff, I'll show up and give you guys some impressions and things like that. Here's like a final part of it. One of the final contributing aspects of me going, the conversation I had with my friends at Capcom USA. Guys at Capcom USA have been so helpful over the years with stuff like this, you know, with cool opportunities and things like that. And one thing they told me when I initially said no was that how involved Capcom was with this picture. More so how the previous versions of a lot of like Capcom movies, there's not a ton of Capcom involvement. Hollywood industry to game industry crossover stuff, they mostly get the IP and then go crazy with it. In this situation, there was, it was revealed to me early on before I even said yes, they said Nakayama-san, Taka Nakayama, who's like resident Mr. Street Fighter right now, responsible for a lot of the crazy cool stuff that's been happening at Capcom for the past many years now, said he's heavily involved, and most of the stuff are going directly through him. So a lot of the tone and the consulting and all the kind of like writing, and most of it is quite literally going through like Nakayama-san. Once I found out that he really wanted me to be there, and I was like, oh, all right, done. That was pretty much like the final beat. Once I found out that it was his involvement and there was that much hands-on with like the Street Fighter guys, I kind of felt like I'm gonna do this, because to be completely honest, what Shuhei Matsumoto and Taka Nakayama have done at Capcom fighting games, they've literally brought Street Fighter back to be it nearly bigger than it has been since Street Fighter 2. Resurrected Marvel vs. Capcom with a Marvel vs. Capcom collection. They brought back Capcom vs. SNK and Power Stone and Rival Schools, my dude. They literally did everything that I have been screaming to the heavens for like 15 years in video form of what we hope Capcom would eventually do. And it was like they were listening the whole time, and then they eventually got into a spot where they can make those differences, and they just did. I'm just like deeply appreciative that the fact that like modern day Capcom, and especially in the fighting game side, they like get it. They understand it. That was a big part of it. So I'm really glad I said yes, because it was a deeply interesting experience. It was great to be a part of like a team and a crew, and have other influencers and people that I know in the FGC be there as well to share that spot with me. The fact that it was just in the Yipes was just awesome. So anyway, thank you guys for all the kind reactions and stuff. I can't wait for you to see what's in the final movie. I can't wait for you to see all the other cool stuff I've seen in the movie. And eventually, by the time we get more trailers and the eventual movie comes out, you know, get to see it in its entirety. So we'll just see how it goes, and if we possibly make it into more of it when it comes out on October 16th.